New data from the CDC showing that Utah has the highest rates of non-fatal drug overdoses in the U.S. Salt Lake Harm Reduction Project trying to make naloxone more available to save more lives. This all coming ahead of International Overdose Awareness Day on August 31st. And joining me live to go in depth is MacKenzie Bray, Executive Director of Salt Lake Harm Reduction Project. MacKenzie, first of all, what's going on here? Why we really have the highest rate of overdoses here?
Yes. So the data are a little complicated, too. We're not exactly sure what's going on, but right now, too, the way it looks is at least people are presenting to emergency rooms. Either they have been in an opioid overdose and someone has administered naloxone and able to bring them in, or it's enough that someone finds someone unresponsive and it looks like an opioid overdose, enough that medical personnel are concerned. So we're in high rates, and this is, but on the upside, it's good news that either people are administering naloxone or knowing to take people into a hospital to receive medical care.
Yeah, you kind of read my mind. I'm wondering what difference the naloxone is making in all of this.
Yep, exactly. And that's one where if we saw high rates of fatal overdoses too, that's when we'd, be extra concerned. But with this, it seems like people are recognizing the signs of an opioid overdose and knowing how to intervene, whether that's bringing them to emergency care or administering naloxone and keeping an eye on them.
Yeah, describe what your group is doing to try to bring down those numbers.
Yeah, so in addition to our usual outreach efforts that we administer naloxone and distribute it, we have installed a Naloxone boxy, and it's kind of like a free little library, but for naloxone, just to ensure that outside of business hours, over on the weekends, folks in the Sugar House community and beyond have access to naloxone, because overdoses don't always happen during business hours when folks are able to get naloxone.
Okay, so a little bit more description about Naloxone boxy. Where is this? How do they get this? What?
Yes. So it's located just on the porch of our Sugar House office. That is 1400 South, 1100 East. And it looks just like those free little libraries that you see, except it's advertises naloxone. So anyone is welcome to come up and get a kit, and there's information about how to administer it, the signs to look for an opioid overdose, really any questions that someone might have regarding naloxone and overdose. There's some information there, and we're happy to talk them through it, too, if they have any questions.
Are you finding that people really understand naloxone and that they really get that it saves lives? I mean, are enough people getting the message?
I think mostly, yes. Sometimes people say, when we offer it, people, they'll say, oh, I don't need that. I don't use substances. So, it's not, you can't administer it to yourself if you're having an opioid overdose. It's not for you. It's for your community. So I think that's the one misconception, is the only thing people think it's just for their own use. And no, it's for you to be a good neighbor. So, but we also have a ton of people we've got grandparents who come in who say, hey, I know I need this because my partner takes medication, or my grandchild is going to college. I want to make sure, I want them to do the right thing, but they need to be able to react well if something, if substances are around them.
Yeah. Who do you recommend have this around the house?
I really recommend it for everyone. I tell my neighbors, it's, again, it's not for you. It's for your relative. It's for your neighbor. It's for you to have, a stranger in the park. So I really say it's best for everyone to have it. If you are nervous about, you don't know how to administer it, there's tons of places that can do training, and it's a very tolerant medication. It's, if someone isn't in an opioid overdose, it's not going to hurt them. So you don't need to worry about doing any harm to someone if you're not sure if it's an opioid overdose.
Yeah, I said around the house, but maybe in the glove box is a better place.
Yep. I say that's one, keep one in the house, keep one in the glove box, really, anywhere you're going to be. I keep one in my glove compartment and my purse and my house. So always at the ready.
So you mentioned Naloxone boxy and where people can find it that way. Are there other places that people can go and readily find naloxone?
Yes, Utah Naloxone has done a ton of work to make naloxone also more accessible in Salt Lake and Utah at large. So in Salt Lake, the public libraries all have access to them. People can go in and get a kit and get trained. And then any syringe exchange in Utah as well will have both nasal and injectable naloxone, and are going to be happy to train folks on how to administer it.
Yeah, you say train folks. Is it difficult to administer it? People should people be afraid of administering it?
No, not at all. We just say we want to tell people, especially with injectable naloxone, if you've seen Pulp Fiction, don't do that. Don't administer it into anyone's heart. We just want to make sure people know like how to administer it. They can ask any questions. It's very simple. It just takes about 30 seconds to train someone. So it's not difficult at all. We just want to make sure people are, we're busting myths, or if they have any misinformation, that we can just make sure that they're on the right track.
All right, MacKenzie, thanks so much for being with me.
Thanks for having me.
That is MacKenzie Bray, the Executive Director of the Salt Lake Harm Reduction Project. And again, thanks for joining me for this very important discussion.